So firstly, what is the local plan for research? Well, it was co-designed by the VCSE organisations who participated in the Raising Voices in Research project, based on the insights that they captured within their first workshops that they delivered as part of the project. The purpose of the plan is to outline how these communities want to be engaged in research, because they're experts by experience. Therefore, we're hoping local researchers will use the plan as a guidance document to inform practice when seeking to engage with the represented communities. Based on the plan, we've also created the pledge, which you can engage with later on today to reflect on how you could implement the different communities' insights in your work. To produce the local plan for research, the project team analysed all the data collected by the organisations involved, from which there were 7 main themes uncovered. They were considered main themes because they were consistently discussed across many of the groups.
And for some people, it was the first time that they had been involved in any kind of research planning. Everyone was sort of fairly relaxed, because they knew all the facilitators, they were quite familiar with us, and certainly that added to the sort of trust. I suppose what people were concerned about was how their personal information was going to be used to participate in research. The research needed to be relevant to them. They enjoyed working in small groups, and for some people that was the first time they had worked in small groups. People also wanted information that they could easily understand, because with research, it's very kind of academic, and the wording tends to be sometimes quite difficult for people to understand.
And when we heard about Raising Voices, some of the people we work with have those neurodiversities, are very shy, completely non-typical to most, neurotypical ways of thinking. And when we talked about it, the only way that we thought we could research was via Zoom and have it as a hybrid meeting. But the people that don't want to attend or be seen, that allowed us for our people to join us and talk. And we recorded it, because a lot of people don't have the written word with us for their dyslexia or other conditions. And it just allowed us all to be able to look at it. And what's come from it is there's 5 or 6 people now that are looking at research all the time, realising that they can be involved in research, medically, in so many different ways, including myself. And that's something we want to try and make available for others. And we want to talk about autism, we want to talk about neurodiversities. We hope from this fantastic project that's been put together, it's allowed us, the funding's come direct to us. We haven't had to tick box or do or follow or go by grant-based that we've always had to fit to somebody else's conditions. I'm not trying to blame, I'm not trying to be negative about it, but this has been a real breath of fresh air for us, and the way that it's being looked to empower us, which we need to be.
And I'd like to share with you one little research that came out very much. Now, most of us has filled in an application form or a survey or done an online poll. What happened after that? You don't know. Why? Right. Nobody told us. Exactly. So the key message I would like to tell researchers is people feel valued. They want to know that their idea has been helpful in the community. And I think we miss that sometimes. We do the survey, we write the questions out, we're so worried about the data, we forget the people who are there. Now, we don't want to do one-off research, we want to do a continuous, so treasure our researchers. So I think that was a key message I'd like to share with you today. And so please do feed back to the community, even if it's something that cannot be implemented, because you will get their cooperation going forward in the future.
So it is available online. So we have a sort of a dedicated space, a website, contains all the Communications Toolkit that we have put together. But in it is sort of templates to do with photos, to do with social media, to do with media releases. Another big part of it was all the insights. So in your second workshop, you talked about communications and how to communicate with you and how we do this better. So on the what our communities want you to know is all the insights that you shared with us. How do you want to be communicated with? What do you want people to do? What size do you need things? What colour do you need things? How much time do you need to get involved? And also, who comes to you with that information? And I think a big theme is about trust. Has been running through all the work that you've said, that it has to come from a trusted person, that you don't want to be cold called or cold emailed. You want that information to be shared through a trusted source, through a trusted person, which has really been highlighted by the community researchers. This is a live thing. If you want to share more, you can tell us and we'll put it on there.
Remove stress. When we did our research, it was at Millbrook House, our centre, so they are immediately relaxed. They've walked into an area they know. They're not worried about tripping over stuff. They're not worried about where the toilet is. They're not worried about where this is. They are immediately in an environment that they are relaxed. And therefore, they threw so many points at us when we asked this. The research that we did for this, the hours flew by because they're in a relaxed situation and we have removed all of those outside stresses. Plan accessibility from the start. It's not complicated. Aerial, stick with aerial. What size? People like 24. Line spacing. What do they like? They like 1.5 spacing between the lines. Pre-send the questions, and then when you're phoning up, they've thought their answers through.
We have people who actually want to make a difference. It was absolutely amazing. I think the biggest thing that came out of it for them was the fact that they were listened to. Somebody actually wanted to hear them, hear their opinions, hear their voice, and also comparing notes and feeling valued. I think, someone wants to know how it is for me.
If all our voices are heard, research will better reflect our spectrum of lived experience, cultures, backgrounds and personalities, interests, and the things that matter to our communities. Research will work better for all of us. We hope you'll join us in being advocates of these recommendations that have come from communities, making sure they shape the way research happens.
A really good way to help people who are coming on the journey behind you, because you are leading the country in some of this work that you are doing.
Well, firstly, thank you. What an enjoyable couple of hours to hear people's stories and insights. And I think for me, partnership working is if you give a lot, you get a lot. So it's really working in that, we're all in it together, and how can we improve things? And I think it's something which we can definitely take forward. But I'm so pleased that Hampshire and the Isle of Wight is on the forefront, is on the front foot in developing and listening to our communities and what we do, and that we lead in the way and listening to people's experiences and stories in shaping how we deliver services as we go forward. So I'm proud to be a Hampshire and Isle of Wight resident. So go Hampshire and the Isle of Wight is what I would say.